I just happened to be scrolling through Instagram and I saw a page where they were showing a whole bunch of Gaza people fighting over getting in line for some soup at an outside soup kitchen. And it honestly was one of the most brutal things I've ever seen in my life. And according to the story, everyone is getting this big old bucket of soup, this big old pan of soup, and that's pretty much what they're getting all day to feed them and their families. And it made me realize that I need to stop complaining. I need to be more grateful, and I need to start paying attention more to what's going on in the world, and rid myself of some distractions that come our way. Because I honestly feel like anytime there's some type of political clownship going on or anything that just seems ridiculous, it's probably and most likely distracting us from something that's very important. And we need to pay attention to these things, just for the sake of our own families and our own awareness, and just keep an eye on where this country really is headed. But I'm about to play a clip of the video from a news outlet on YouTube, and um, yeah, viewer discretion is advised.
The morning after 100 aid and rights groups warned that mass starvation was spreading in the Gaza Strip, residents' scramble for food continues at this soup kitchen in Gaza City. And in Gaza's hospitals, food shortages are compounded by a lack of medical supplies, with dire consequences for this child who has a rare illness and is severely malnourished.
She weighed about 15 kilograms when the war started and only 6.5 kilos a week ago. I took her to the hospital. They've been looking for a drip, but there aren't any.
The Israeli government said on Thursday that aid shipments have entered the Strip, which aid agencies have failed to collect for distribution. But the agencies say that moving trucks safely around the Strip to reach where they are needed has become close to impossible with ongoing military operations. For coverage of the situation on the ground, the world's media rely heavily on news agencies AFP, AP, and Reuters, relaying the work of local journalists. On Thursday, they issued a joint call alongside the BBC to demand adequate food supplies into the Strip and allow journalists to leave and enter the enclave, whose borders with both Israel and Egypt are under strict blockade. Pressure is mounting from inside Israel as well, where banners read "Stop Starving Gaza" outside the US Embassy offices in Tel Aviv. This at a protest attended by more than 100 people. They also called for an end to the war and the release of all hostages.
Now, I'm going to be honest, man. I haven't been keeping up with what's going on between Palestine and Israel that much, but I have noticed a ton of people saying "Free Palestine." And quite frankly, I'm the type of person that's like, okay, we're struggling over here in America. Why are we even worried about external affairs when we got our own ghettos and blocks and people dying and suffering right down the street? But when I saw this video, I couldn't help but be compelled to kind of make a video on it and speak on this very briefly. I was planning on making a different type of video until I saw that clip, and it made me think these are the type of things that I really do want to talk about and want to address, and I think it fits the theme of future things that I'm going to talk about. And to me, the saddest part about it to me is these two parties, the leaders, the people who can't come to an agreement, the people who are pretty much blocking off resources. They're letting the people suffer for their own agenda, and we're kind of seeing that kind of play out in America right before our eyes. And the only reason I say kinda is because there isn't definitive proof that that's what's happening, but the absence of evidence isn't evidence of absence, which means just because there isn't any evidence doesn't mean that their evidence doesn't exist. It just hasn't been discovered yet or made public yet. I have never seen nothing like I've seen in that video where people are literally begging, for a bowl of soup that's supposed to last them all day. And as you can see in that video, just ruins. And I'm probably gonna make another video once I do more research. But right now, I just wanted to kind of talk about that video and share it, and just make the point of, let's start really paying attention to what's going on in our country, because you never know, we could end up like that in the next 20 to 50 to 30 years. And on top of that, there's so much going on top of just blatant distractions from what's really going on. And and man, part of being woke is really just being aware, man. It doesn't make you superior to anyone else that's not, paying attention or not aware. Being woke is just all about being aware. Yeah. Being aware of your spirituality, being aware of what's going on around you, being emotionally aware, being aware of the things that are a necessity to survive, and on this dimension, on this playing field, on this earth, in this country. And I will say this: I'm not gonna sit here and pick a side and say who's wrong and who's right. I'm just going off of what I see, and um, prayers up to those people, man. And if you have shelter, if you have food, if you have clothes on your back, if you have people that love you, if you have a good career, a decent job, and you're able to get back and forth to where you need to be, take a look at this video, sit down tonight or sit down with your family, say a prayer for these people who are suffering, and thank God, thank the universe, thank whatever you believe in, Allah, thank them that you have the resources and you're in a situation where you can take care of yourself and or your family. And that's pretty much all I've got to say. And welcome to the Dark Nights Pod, man.